Oh, hello. Let's do this. Hey, how's it going? We ready to party today? Doing some portfolio reviews today, and yeah, definitely gonna be continuing on with our action. Hey, what's going on? How you going, Lakshi? You having a great day? We are live on Instagram, on TikTok, and on YouTube. Hope you all are having an awesome day today. What's up, UI Alex? Hey, hey. Hey, Ahmed. Senior P Creates. What's going on? Angel, how you doing? Kamal. Hello, hello, hello. My baddie. Don't do me like that. Don't do me like that. So I was just trying to set up my I got a new camera, y'all. Look at this camera. Banger of a camera. And yeah, I was just trying to like set it up, but yeah, didn't get it all ready. Didn't get it all set. So yeah, we got the normal webcam, but should be fun chat today. Are you with the loading spinner? Yeah, sometimes I hear that from people, but then other people are saying that they're seeing everything. So yeah, let me know if the stream's going okay. Is the quality all right for y'all? Let me know. Let me know if not. I just got done doing my business taxes. I filed like an extension and all that, and I finally finished it up. So we are ready to go. Yeah, the taxes are good. But not good, but they're done. So at least there's that. But yeah, I'm super stoked for today's chat. Today we are going to be covering three portfolio reviews and also a little Pokemon continued action. Been having some fun making little Pokemon goofy meme videos lately, but how are the top three people picked for the portfolio? Well, currently they're not the top three. I haven't even like looked at these portfolios actually. What it is though is basically in my bio link there's a button here to join the queue or get a live portfolio review right here too. Both of those take you into this Airtable link right here, and you'll be able to fill in your contact deets and you will get access to a review. Now, where are we at today? Currently, we're up to about the 31st of May. So yeah, it's basically it's kind of like first come first serve, and yeah, that's who's getting the reviews right now. Is these people put in theirs a little bit earlier. So hopefully Sam Grime, Aman, and Mathis are all here today. It would be great if they're live with us. But cool, been watching quite a few of your videos, starting to work on an app design for work right now. Hell yeah, that's awesome. I also saw earlier too a little question on like, what's the best way to get into the industry. And actually, you know what? I'm feeling like we skipped the Pokemon tutorial and let's do a designer's roadmap. Let's chat about the steps that it's going to take to go from I'm just starting out to getting into an actual job as a professional designer. Let's talk about that because I think that I talk about it sometimes, but I think I would love to just like bring in a full loop, pull this together and chat through this because yeah. Let's give it. So it's difficult to make it as a designer. Exactly, Osman. It's difficult to make it as a designer. And the truth is, this is a nice job. This is a cushy job where we use our brain to solve problems for businesses and turn those businesses into more successful businesses or whatever, right? And so I think like that's why it's hard to break into this industry because this is a nice job, that's skill-based job, and those skills have very different levels of quality in those ways. And so I'm gonna walk through, in my opinion, what the steps should be for you as a designer when you're just starting out. So first off, we need to we need to learn some tools. We're gonna start with Figma. We're gonna get into work, right? Let's get our pins out. We're gonna do work a lot after that. Then we're gonna go into to research mode. Then we're gonna go into website mode. All right, so here we go. We ready? I'm gonna put all these on little whites. Okay, let's fix these orders here. All right. Yeah, that's it. That's it right there. And I'm gonna loop this all together in a nice little way for us to all chat through. So first off, you need to learn a program. In my opinion, that program should be Figma. Now I'm biased a little bit here because I get paid sometimes by Figma to make content for them. So take that with what you will. But if you look at pretty much any job listing out there in the market for designers, it's got Figma listed up top, and that's because everybody works off of Figma now. So, and the reality of this is you've got to be able to know a tool well enough to be able to start practicing. I think those are the steps, right? You've got to. And this is for any kind of skill, like learning a guitar or learning to draw or whatever. You need to understand a tool well enough so that you can practice, right? And so that's the first step is learning the tool, and in my opinion, it should be Figma. Now, once you learn that tool well enough, you don't even need to know super in depth, all the key bindings and all that shit. Just understand what a frame is, when to use frames over groups, start dabbling in auto layout a little bit, but even then you probably can get away with that. Learn colors, how to add text, all that stuff, right? But then from there, you need to actually go do some stuff, right? And because here's the thing, you've got everybody loves to talk about how important it is to learn UX. And look, it is very important to understand user experience strategy. How do product teams work? Why the designs that we're doing, how that serves the business goals and all that stuff, right? All of that is important. But in reality, this is, let's say that this is, my main rig is a fucking. My main rig is a Mac, so I'm still getting used to my PC here. Okay, so let's say that this is UX, right? We'll put UX right there. Okay, so we got UX as a bubble right here. Now, a lot of people or resources will tell you that UI is over here, right? But the real truth is that UI is in here. It's like this, right? UX is part of UI, right? And the truth is there's a lot of other bubbles that make up UX as well. There's and the UX strategy, right? There's research, but even inside research, there's a few bubbles of market research versus validation of designs and all that stuff, like user testing and everything. And so, really there's so much to know in all of this stuff. And so the truth is, in my opinion, you need to focus on things that you yourself, without anybody else externally, can tell you how to make it better, right? Great question over on TikTok. Customer experience, right? Well, what about customer experience? What about user experience? Well, it's all the same stuff. Of you can't actually go make something and then test and validate for yourself whether it addresses the customer experience, whether it makes the user experience better, whether this actually would result in the business needle moving upwards, right? You can't know that. You can't know that. You might be able to say, yeah, well, I followed these steps. Well, okay, are those steps the right steps, right? When you were following those steps, were they the steps that other people in the team would have taken? And then did those steps come to fruition? And then what could you do to make them better, right? And all of those things, every level of those steps are things that you can't know until you grind and actually work in the real world for a while. So that's why I say focus on UI. Now, look, there's definitely something to be said about can you actually judge yourself on UI, right? And I think you can, right? Because you can look at a thing and you could say, was this successful? Right? And now, what does that mean? Is this successful in terms of does this look like what I wanted it to look like? When I saw it in my brain, did it look like this, right? Is this better or worse than what's in my brain? If I go look at this compared to other UI in the world of big products and also dribble shots and everything like that, are those comparatively, does mine look good or better or worse than these, right? You can do that if you kind of step away for a day or two, come back, and then judge yourself authentically about that. You can really do that. And I think that's why your first step should be focusing on UI. Now, when you get into it, you are going to suck. You are going to suck at UI in the beginning, and it's going to be very tempting for you to say, well, you know what? I'll get good at UI later. I don't have a good design eye. Maybe I just don't have a talent for UI. But you know what? I do understand the UX process, and I can follow that process, to fruition. And the truth is that's what a lot of other people are doing. A lot of other people are making that decision, and what they're doing is they're setting themselves up for this spot where you can't have this quality of skills. You can't have these other bubbles that exist here inside the UX space. You don't know those. You know what they are in theory, but can you practically put them together on a thing where there is no right answers, right? That is the real truth. There is no right answers, and everybody on a product team has a different opinion. And so how can you actually be an effective designer in that world, right? Where you don't have right answers and you effectively have no backing to back it up. Well, you need to understand how to like work with stakeholders and do that dance and all that. And again, all of that is so hard, and that is what's keeping people from getting a job when they say, I don't want to go learn UI, it's too hard. I'm just going to go, say that I'm a UX designer. And all that to say, it is to your detriment, in my opinion, it's to your detriment that you go here and you just try to go learn the strategy. Because, let's talk about going back to a guitar, right? If I'm trying to learn the guitar, am I going to pick up a guitar and go learn to read sheet music? Am I going to learn music theory and understand like the musical beats, like 4/4 or 2/4 or whatever? Like, no, you're not going to. You're going to say, how do I play fucking Smoke on the Water, right? Like, how do I play like this favorite song of mine? I want to be able to show my friends I can do that, right? That's the first step. And understand that when you do that, you're going to suck. The designs are going to look horrible. It's not going to look exactly like what you want, and that's okay, right? I sucked when I started, and that was 13 years ago. It took me a while. It took me like a year of really grinding every day and practicing and working my ass off for that. And that's the real truth is if you have patience and you have passion, that passion is going to keep you going. It's going to make it where you're tired and you still like just pull out your computer and you want to play with Figma a little bit, right? And like that's what passion does. And then passion mixed with patience and just doing it consistently, it's going to build those skills. And so what I did when I started was I went and copied other people's designs. I would pull it in from Dribbble. Here, let me just like show you what I would do. I'll go to Dribbble, right? I would just pull up like a UI shot and be like, oh man, this is a really cool website design. Let me just go like remake that, right? And so I wouldn't trace it, right? I would do it right over here. I would redesign it right over here. And in doing that, I would slowly realize, like I would slowly hone my skills on gradients. I would understand like spacing and white space and how people manage that. And like it got to the point where I didn't know like these super complex UX research terms, but I understood why to actively use them and how to use them. And that's really the juice here of being able to copy other people's stuff. It's not your work. Don't share it as if it's your work. But when you're doing that, you're able to like grasp how, like why the people are doing it. Like you might not understand why they're doing it, but you understand that like based on this shot and this shot and this shot and this shot, everybody's doing it like this. So I should keep doing it that way, right? And so ultimately there's some people who might say, well, hey, when everybody's zigging, you should zag, or you don't want to do exactly what everybody else is doing. But the truth is you need to know the rules so that you can break them, right? And that's the real thing is the rules through practical application. You don't do it through understanding the theory. You do not do it through understanding the theory. So all that to say, I have a free design challenge. It's an email newsletter that comes out daily, and basically it's all about that. It gets you a task every day to go redesign something, and that's it. Like you also are doing some ideation stuff too, but all of it's free. Go do that. Go to my bio link and try it out because that will get you to the point where you understand. Like by the end of that 70 days, it's 70 days of doing that. By the end of that 70 days, you get those patterns in. You just understand why people are doing what they're doing a little bit in depth, and then you're like, well, why are people using gradients like this? Why is the spacing here between so let's say that this is a card, right? Why is it that we should let me do it. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Why is it that this spacing is bad? right? If these two are there, why is that spacing bad? Why is this spacing okay, right? Like those are things that you will learn you'll learn to ask those questions, and that's where you finally can go learn the tactics and the theory behind those tactics, and then really quick, you're gonna have to go apply those, right? So you go get some fucking reps in, go get some repetitions in, then you learn the strategy behind those reps, and then you go get some more reps, right? And let's say that this is like 2 or 3 weeks. Learning Figma is 2 to 3 weeks. This 3 months ish. 2 or 3 more months of really diving into the strategy. 2 or 3 more months of really using the practicality of that strategy. And I think only then can you confidently go charge people money for the work that you're doing. Only then do you have the context and the understanding of how this all actually works, right? Yeah, you can understand, how UX is done. Just like I understand the scientific method, but I'm not a fucking scientist, right? I understand that you start with a hypothesis, you create some variables, or you decide what variables you can use to be able to test. And then you go do a test, and then you look at your conclusions, and then you come up with a new hypothesis, right? That's the scientific method. It's the same deal for UX. Understand how it works, right? I'm not saying avoid it, but I'm just saying, like, understand how it works, and then understand you don't know how to use that in the real world. And so, all that to say, focus on UI, and you will go far. Because after reviewing hundreds of portfolios, I will tell you, less than 3% of people can actually make really good UI, and that's because they are skipping this. They're saying, I don't understand. I don't have a design eye. I need to refine it. It's going to take a while. So let me just go learn the scientific method. And then there's zero way for you to stand out because you don't have work to go do that with, Okay. That's it. Yeah, so cool. All that to say, only then can you actually go do real work. And I think that's when you should start focusing on your portfolio. And so with that in mind, we're ready to start talking about portfolio reviews. And understand with that context that if you're applying and you're not getting jobs, it might be because of that. It might be because you haven't put enough work in, right? And then there's also the portfolio, and there's a lot of stuff that goes into that as well. And we're going to be doing that on this live review. So all that to say, that was a really good rant. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you got something out of that. But with that in mind, if you want to get your portfolio reviewed, you can always do that through my bio link. So go to my bio link, radnolan/links. Inside of there is portfolio reviews. Join the queue or get a portfolio review. Boom. And you will join the queue. Currently there are quite a bit of people in the queue. But yeah, before we move on, I just want to catch up. Chat's been pumping over on TikToks especially. Do I do sponsored posts? Yes, I do. Sorry for missing your email. I'll get back to you. So super sorry about that. Is psychology research useful in UX UI? See, okay, again, like, yeah, okay, it's good to understand how people work and like their mentality and all that stuff. That's important for sure. I'm not trying to discount UX, but what I'm trying to discount is like you can't get a job with UX only when you don't have experience, right? You can get experience. You can build the skills that you need to have a good design eye without real world experience. You can do that through just hustling and making designs. You can't do that with UX. So all that to say, it's good to have, but yeah, like I don't think that it's gonna take you a while before you're able to really jump on. You can find my newsletter link. It's the 70 Rad Challenge right here in my bio link. It's 70 Rad or 70 Rad Design Challenge. Basically right there, it takes you here. You could also go to 70rad.com. That might be even easier. Basically, what this is part of it is you have to generate a prompt every 10 days. You can do a gamified legal advice platform or a gamified budget planner, or you can do an AI powered budget planner or a set it and forget it budget planner. That sounds like a cool app. Burger, what's happening, bro? How you doing? I have an issue about design tokens. I don't know how it works between design aspect with code. Hey, that Penguin, come back on Monday. Let's do a little live tutorial about that. What do you think about that? Cool. Do we need to program to do UI UX? Definitely not. You don't need to know code to do UI UX. Now, I will say though, it's good to think like a developer, right? I think some of the best designers can think like developers, and you can get that. Like you can get that in two ways. You can either get that through working with a lot of developers, or you can get that through knowing development, right? Because you're able to understand, like, oh damn, like how would I build this? Like, like this is super inconsistent compared to this, but is it worth it? No, yes, I don't know. And that's really what it comes down to for us is like, to be an effective designer, you need to understand how to build your argument, right? That like every time that you go into a product meeting or a design review meeting, whatever, you have to come in with a stacked deck, right? And there's like it's like you've got to play chess to be able to get your design sold, right? And bought in on. And like the best way to do that is through having a sound strategy. Having everybody agree on that sound strategy, and then every single decision you make, from the page, like the layout, the padding, like the colors, everything, like the content that you're putting in, every single decision you make should address that strategy. And so that's why it's so important to show strategy. That's why it's great to understand UX and in general as well. That's very important as well. So again, like I'm not trying to discount UX. I'm just trying to say you have a path to a job easier if you learn to have a great design eye, because junior designers are probably not even going to be in the UX seat like in the beginning stages, right? They are probably going to be coached up, especially product designers, right? Where you're kind of doing UI and UX. Junior product designers, like if I, as a person who hired recently, I'm looking for people who've got some skills. Now they might have a killer UX side, right? But it's that's fewer and further between to be able to stand out, because you have to ship work and see that those like actually move the needle and all that, right? But then there's the other side of like, if you have killer UI, then I understand very confidently, oh hell yeah, like this person, I could even handle the UX if they can't do it. Maybe they can though, so that's cool. But like if they can crush it on UI, then one less thing on my back. So how do you see your portfolio? You can go ahead to my bio link, and in there's portfolio reviews. Currently we're up till about the end of May. I might start trying to do more of these though, so that way we can get caught up. But anyways, enough jab. I'm gonna get into the actual portfolio review portion of the day, let's go. I got 15 minutes on the clock. We are going to review Sam Grimes' portfolio. Let's go. How can you join the challenge? Oh, shoot. Let me pause. Joining the challenge, go to 70rad.com or just go to my bio link. There's a 70rad challenge right there. I'll take you right here. And then down here, there's a place where you can input your email. So, all right. Cool. Okay, Sam Grimes. Let's go. Okay, interesting that it's just right into work. I kind of like that. There is no hero. User916, thanks so much for the follow. Oh yeah, somebody followed me earlier. If you're still here, George, thanks for following me as well on TikTok. Would be a good idea to start your Rad UI design right away when starting the design path. Absolutely, Melvin. Absolutely, start 70Rad, because it's just going to get you doing those reps. You know what I mean? It's super important to get those reps in. So the sooner you can do it, the better. All right, so let's just... this is interesting. This is very different from any of the portfolios that I looked at so far on these lives. Usually there's like a little bit of like about me or whatever. Now they do have some info. Okay, so cool to see Sam, some info about her. Lots of content, so that's cool. Maybe throw some of this. What others say? If you've got reviews, I would say throw them on your homepage. You got videos. That's interesting. Okay, so you do some like editing or something? Yeah, I mean, oh shit. I just cut out for a second. Y'all got me? TikTok, you still there? Instagram, you still there? I think so. Sound off. Okay, cool. All right, what's up, Muhammad? How you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. All right, so let's just decide on a piece. Okay, Cody, Elixium, Jansen. Yeah, okay. So remember, I'm doing rankings now. So the hero section, I'm ranking out of 10. The ideal hero section has a concise what type of work I do and for who types of companies. The ideal hero also has a little bit of like memorability of like oh, Sam's this type of person. Like I can like put that in my head while I'm thinking about her later, right? Additionally, we have work peeking through a little bit, so that way it draws me to scroll. Now I don't have to scroll, so that's nice on this rubric scale. But there's like zero else about Sam and what they do, what type of work they do, and also to seeing this work here. It also is tough to be able to say like what type of work Sam does. It seems like it's product, seems like it might be a little bit of web. Yeah, I don't know. So I would say hero or just like overall layout of the homepage is probably a 4.6. Now it's not bad, but it's not too good in terms of like this is the type of designer that Sam is, right? And so yeah, so I'll leave it there, 4.6. Looking at the products or designs that I want to review. Now I usually am hiring for product design. This looks like branding stuff, web design, branding. So all this looks like branding. This is probably branding too. So this looks like might be a product, but I don't know. Maybe not. All that to say, the work itself, the work section. Now I'd love to see shots like final results, which I do, so that's good. But the trouble is like I have to hover just to see some more context. There's no more context to make me click on Elixium over Janssen, right? And that's because there's no more context given about the work that was done in these projects. So it makes it hard for me as a hiring manager to say, oh, this is the type of work that I'm going to have Sam do. Let me look at the case study for that one, right? So because of that, this is another probably 3.8 on this work section. It looks good, like it's pretty, the work that's done. I just don't know what work it is, right? I'm just gonna click on Cody because it's the first one on the list. So let's go. Scope, branding, okay, cool. Role, art direction, industry, cool. Yeah, I think that's a nice intro. Very clear on what was done on this project, and it has it in results, which is cool too. This is actually clickable and takes me to Cody.com. So, wow, okay, and this is the site that you designed. So that's nice. That's a nice looking site. So I would say this doesn't look clickable though. You know what I mean? So give me some more like. Might even be nice to add some branding elements of like a little arrow, like view the live site. You know what I mean? So I would say hero for this is a 7.8. It's good. It's really good. Could use a little bit more refining, but it's simple and very nice and elegant. That's nice too. So, okay, we got view live here, so that's cool. You tried submitting the portfolio, but the site's unresponsive. What site is unresponsive, Marvel? Can you tell me? Let me know. So this is nice, and this looks like what's on the homepage too. Oh, okay, this is like a demo. Is this an iframe? Okay, that's a Figma prototype. Interesting. Okay, that's pretty nice. Hey, Cyber, thanks so much for sharing the live. If anybody else wants to share it with their friends or family or whomever, just go do it. Thank you so much. I'll leave it there. Yeah, it's nice. I like seeing like the end results right away. That's great. I don't even have to click to view the live. I can see this here and it looks good. And honestly, that looks exactly like what the live site looks like. So that's cool too. So yeah, I like that. I like this section, the one on my profile. Okay, let me see. Links. Here, does this one work? That one works. Okay, this one works too. Weird. Retinal/links. Yeah, all those links work. Can you just try it one more time? Okay, continuing on. We got. Oh my gosh, the timer hasn't been going. I'm gonna put 8 minutes on. 8 minutes on the clock. Okay. Cool. Nice to see these layouts, like the nice to see these designs. I don't like the layout. Maybe it's because I'm viewing it in a weird screen. No, okay. I don't know. This layout's kind of weird to me. Don't you think? What do you guys think about this? I feel kind of like this is a little bit weird of a layout, Somebody on Instagram just asked what the URL is. It is Sam, SAM Greim, GREIM.com. That's what I'm reviewing right now. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like the design is nice. Like design of the site is nice. This is pretty interesting little layout here. But yeah, the layout's weird to me. Like they're so tall. It feels like it should be more zoomed in if it's this tall. Or like it was supposed to be a slider, but it's not. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's kind of weird. That's a weird section. I like this though. It's just like nice branding vibes. Cool. Yeah, these are nice. Letting the work speak for itself in a big way. That's great. I like it. Now there's like very little strategy to this, shown at least. There's also no like pre versus post. And the other side too that I always like to angle on is like when we're designing for a reason, right? Something happened, like something triggered this, right? Where like let's say that Cody needed a web redesign. Why, right? What was happening? What did you do? Like, so based on what was happening, what did you do to make sure that it was successful this time, right? When that like end result happened and you launched the site, which you did clearly, like it looks like the design that you showed on this. So like when that happened, like what were the results, right? And it's always nice to circle back to the problem, right? Like they weren't getting enough conversions. We launched a site and the conversions went up 25%, right? Like something like that, where it's like a storyline would be really, really nice to see on this. And overall the design's good. Well, like I like the vibes are nice. It feels like the ultimate UI is good. You know what I mean? I just can't really say whether or not it was like it had a problem and then it addressed that problem and then that problem went away. Wow, okay, like this layout's pretty cool. I like this layout on this one. Maybe they were trying to do that and it kind of just got wonky on responsive or something like that. So yeah, I mean, so here's the thing. Here's the other side too of what I say is who knows what Sam is trying to go for, right? Now, if you were trying to apply for a product design job, you probably wouldn't get it because there's no strategy involved. But you probably could get clients out of this site, right? Like, honestly, you probably could. Because clients don't necessarily need to see that strategy. They just like to see the ends and all that. Now, the trouble is, though, is when you can kill that strategy, when you can nail it and just be like, this is why, and then this were the results. Like, what do you think? It's killer, right? It makes it where you can be much more in the expert seat when you have clients, right? When let's say that this got a client, it would be hard to say what your process is to get to this point. And so it would be on you to educate them through the whole process, slow it down when they're trying to move too fast and all that. And I mean, that happens either way. Let's be real. That happens either way. But if you start showing the processes that you take inside of your client work, it will help let them know what they can expect when they reach out to you as well. And so I think because of that, like the lack of strategy here is a big negative. However, the design itself on these is great. I like the designs. The layout of the end results are good too. I think that they just need like 2 or 3 sections with some text explaining like what happened and why. And these would be great case studies. So because of that, I'll rank these as 6.9. It's close. It's close to a 7. It's close to up in the top level. And I do think that you could probably get some work out of these case studies. It just is falling flat for more of the broader level, like thinking type work, right? Like ultimately, like if you're showing this, the best you can get is, hey, I'm really good at like visual design, but you make more money when you're like, hey, I'm like killer at strategy, right? Like more money, and not only more money, but you also have you're more in the driver's seat, right? When a client looks at you as expert, then you can say, we're doing this for a reason. I was gonna say shut the fuck up, but like that's too much. That's too dramatic. But like you know what I'm saying? Like they will ask your advice rather than trying to take over with their A-type personalities. Is it good to host design portfolios on GitHub instead of buying a domain? That's interesting. I've never seen a GitHub portfolio, but I'm more in the design side, not the development side. I would say that you don't need a custom domain if you're applying for jobs. It helps, but I think the biggest thing is a custom website, right, of some sort. So, Wix, Webflow, Framer, all of them have the ability to like publish sites, like staging sites without being paid for. And so I would just say do those types of things and then apply with that link because you can still make it custom without being a live final version. And then, once you hear back feedback saying, hey, you don't even have a custom domain, then you can just, attribute it to a custom domain and you're good. Hey, I'm a student from MD. I have been following your account for a long time now. Love your content. I have a quest. I want to pursue UI UX in the future. Can you explain what actually is UI versus UX? Yeah, I did a real deep dive in this just a minute ago. If you want to check out my YouTube, I'm currently streaming on YouTube, but you can always view the replay. I would say go back and look at this whole rant because I explained the whole roadmap to get there, where learn Figma, do a lot of work, learn the strategy and tactics, do a lot more work, and then do portfolio, and then get into your portfolio at that point. Understand that UI is a part of UX, right? The user experience, the business experience, the customer experience, all of that is still UI is part of that. Just like UX is, right? And so it all is interconnected. And so what I would say is get really good at UI. I think that people who are really good at UI and visual design can definitely stand out. I can tell you 100% from the portfolios that I've reviewed in the past year while I was actively trying to hire, people do not have the UI chops. Not everybody. I'm painting with a broad brush, but a very high percentage do not have a UX strategy, a UI strategy, a UI process, and a way to consistently make better UI from a strategy, right? Yeah, everybody needs a strategy, right? Every design needs a strategy. But can you turn that strategy into UI? I think you will stand out if you can as a junior designer. So all that to say, just go do a lot of reps, get a lot of reps in, design a lot, and so yeah. All that final thing to say, I didn't actually loop back and close the circles. I've got a Figma course that you can learn the basics and also more advanced stuff too. I've got a free design challenge, 70 Rad, which will get you those reps. Then I've got a UI course that will give you that ability to say, hey, okay, this is the strategy. Let's go make designs that look really good for that strategy. All that, like I've got a course for that too. Then go do more work. Maybe take 70 Rad again, right? Now that you know the context of how all this shit works. And then yeah, I think my next resource is going to be some sort of portfolio thing, right? Whether that's like a template that you can use to like show your work and it's going to guide you. That's kind of what I'm thinking. But maybe it's also a course. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do for that. But okay, so we got Sam's in. I would say overall Sam's portfolio is 6.5. It was a good portfolio. I think it needs more information. She's definitely on the way. Sam is. I think that Sam has done some work, got some work under her belt. Visual design is solid. Just needs a little bit more strategy involved, and there probably is. So it's just like show me that, right? So let's get into Aman's portfolio. Is UX UI a part of the healthcare world in 2024? Absolutely. Yeah, I mean like doctors and healthcare professionals and SaaS tools around healthcare. There's a lot of that. So all right, what are future goals and how to be best at it? I think future goals should just be get more reps in. Be patient and passionate, right? The passion will keep you going when you're tired and you got home from work and you're just like, I just want to lay down and watch TV. Passion will make you open your laptop and just fiddle with Figma for a while, right? That's what passion will do. Then you got to step into patience. It's going to take a while. It took me 4 years before I got my first real job, right? And part of that was because I was trying to be a freelancer for a while and all that. But yeah, it took me 4 years. And yeah, like I know it probably will take you guaranteed more than a year to get into this from start to finish. And if you hear bootcamp telling you otherwise, it's bullshit. It's bullshit. All right, let's pop on some 15 minutes on the clock for Aman's portfolio. Let's get it. Come on, Aman. Let's get it, baby. Okay. Aman. Oh, I think this guy had a nice little... Okay, cool. Scroll down. Aman. How stuff looks, designing pages, buttons, making everything look nice. Yeah. Yep, nailed it. What's up, Nolan? Been here since the first stream. Hell yeah. Hey, thanks so much for joining from Czechia. Appreciate you. Currently studying product design boot camp, but I've been practicing since years. Don't have a college degree yet. Can I get a job without a college degree? Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. Let me pause really quick. You could definitely get a job in design without a degree. I have a degree, but it's not design related. So you can definitely get a job without a degree. Okay, but cool. I'll leave it there. Resume. This is nice, just having like a resume accessible right there. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we got that. Aman Dola. Okay, probably the name. Interesting. Looks good. It's pretty. You know, I would love it if this was a button that scrolled me down. It's just one of those things. If you're gonna tell me to scroll down, make it so that clicking scrolls me down. You know what I mean? I'm a product design student currently studying at United World Institute of Design. About me. Oh, this is a cool little like button thing here. What does about me do? Ooh, that was a nice transition. Signing tomorrow. Toolbox. Cool. Yeah, this is nice. Little toolbox thing. I like that. I like that. Projects. Taste of Chennai. Or Chennai? Is that Chennai or Chennai? I don't know. Video doorbell by KitchenAid. Making Spotify musical. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Let's start rank. Let's start rating. So, interesting looking intro. You know, this is kind of above the fold. I would love to know the type of work that you're trying to get into, right? Like you're currently studying at the United World Institute. Are you trying to get into product design? Are you trying to get into graphic design, web design? Do you want a product team job? Do you want a agency job? All that like would be awesome to get up here. That context to get up here. Now visually it looks pretty. There's motion, so that's cool. I think too, like I think this currently at and this about me should be flipped with your most important project, which seems to be the Taste of Chennai. So I think that should be bumped up higher. Yeah. So all that to say, the intro of this top one of this portfolio is going to be a 6.7. I think 6.7. It looks good. It falls a little flat. Yeah, maybe 6.4. 6.4. We're going 6.4. Yeah, 6.4. Link for sorry. I should link. Yeah, thank you, Fahim. So if you want to follow along on this is amanportfolio.framer.website. Here you go. There you go. I'll give you a 5-second countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, there we go. All right. Getting back to it. All right, Aman's portfolio. Let's go. All right. Sorry if I missed the answer about UI UX in the healthcare industry. Yeah, hey Kenny, definitely. Healthcare is you can get into healthcare UI UX, specifically around SaaS tools. Really, any kind of SaaS tool is where most of the jobs are going to be. So that's all I'll say is like, yeah, definitely there's jobs in the healthcare industry around design. Making Mr. and Mrs. Idly more delicious. So I like this motion, and I always talk about how I like motion. This is just a little too much, a little too jarring. How can you get this to where it's just like a slow scroll like that? You know what I mean? It's a little too much. It makes it where it's really, really fucking hard to read all of this because it's like so like I don't know if it's my ADHD brain or what. I just am like right now, which maybe is a good thing. I don't know. I gotta scroll down though because it's like bothering me. Oh man, that really set me off. Not on you, Aman. I'm just a goofy person, I guess. That really threw me. Okay. Creating a design system for Mr. and Mrs. Idly and designing the website according to it. Timeline, December 20. Stop doing the damn the timelines. I don't need to know that. Remove it. Remove the timeline. UI UX designer role. Great. That's cool. What team was it on? Boom, Amendola. Oh, your team. Cut that too. If it's just you, or no. Oh, it was with Samiksha. I'd say you don't even need to share that either. Don't even share that. Figma link. That almost got missed, this Figma link. But cool to see that. Let's just jump in. Okay, this is actually like the actual Figma file. Cool. Okay, that's cool. Nicely organized file. So that's cool to see. Yeah, nice. End results. Okay. Now, okay, here's my thing. Every tactic that we have as designers, it's a tool. It's another tool that we can use in certain situations, right? And so, like, why do you need a design system for a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-page website, right? Do you need one? Yo, it looks like they're in the file. Somebody's in the file. Who's in the file? Yeah, somebody's in the file. But anyways, that's one thing that I think is bothering me. It's like, you're saying you're creating a design system, but really you made a website, right? And yeah, you can make a website with some components on it, but like the reason that it's valuable to have a design system is that like this is like super complex, like super deep, like big ass product, big ass website that needed a lot of different people and hands-on, and we worked with developers to get it built and all that stuff. So all that to say, I don't know. That throws me a little bit, the design system, but I'll keep going. I think the ranking, because this is just such a fast animation, it's a negative for me. It's a little bit negative on the layout here, or sorry, on the designs. So I'm gonna say a 7, a flat 7 on this intro. It's got motion, it's got InDesign, very concise on what you did. So that's all great. It was just too much, way too much. Introduction. Perfect place for authentic South Asian Indian food you can enjoy. Okay. Cool. All right. Problem. We identified the need for a new design system for Mr. and Mrs. to ensure consistency and efficiency across. Okay. Yeah. But see, again, it's 5 pages. So, like, tell me why you identified that they needed a design system, right? Yeah, like, okay, it can expand and grow for sure. That's cool. Like, but just like, I don't know, slapping on design system feels a little buzzword bingo to me. Website does not have a proper design system. Does that matter? User experience, brand identity is not followed everywhere. You just put user experience though, like maybe user experience was bad would be great to see there. Just a little bit more context. Yeah, brand identity is not followed anywhere. And then that's cool. That's fine to use that one. And like so look, I'm talking shit about the design system here, like, and like I could see why you did it, but like it's not really a design system if it's just like a series of like layouts and components that you made, like unless it's like really like in depth and like set up. I don't know. Yeah, I'll leave it there. Creating a design system and redesigning the website such that it resembles the brand identity of Mr. and Mrs. Idley. Okay, research. Redesign to reassemble a website. Create a brand system. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. Easy to read. Easy to scroll through these. That's good. User research is important to understand the user's needs. Can't see much of a navigation bar. Loves South Asian too. It's very nutritious. Does not really care about the website. Probably just don't even include the Sujal then, right? If they don't really care about the website, don't even bring them up then. That would be a weird person to use in an interview as a person to give you an insight. Main page, gallery, menu, book a table. Oh, this was the old version? Damn, that is pretty rough. Look at that thing. That is a lot. Roadmap. Cool. That's nice. I like these visualizations. Probably back-to-back 3 of them is a little much. It'd be nice to like put all 3 of them together somehow through like a UX blueprint or something like that. So yeah, maybe just consider that. Turning insights into concepts. Okay. Adding interactive food carousel. Cool. I like to see inspiration from other sites. Like that's pretty nice to see that. Made design system. Okay. Yeah, I like some visualizations and motions there. Cool. Got buttons, other buttons, hover state, input fields. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, again, it just kind of feels like overdone, right? Like, yeah, like this is good, but like, I mean, I just did five vertical screen scrolls to get to here, and yeah, and then it's like, and really, it was just like a few atoms, or I mean, I guess these are molecules, but these aren't. You can't really call it a design system unless you have like templated sections that are reused across multiple pages and stuff. That was kind of what I was getting at earlier. Is like, yeah, you made some button styles, but like, it's just kind of like what you have to do in a web design, right? But do you need a design system every time? I don't think so. So yeah, low fidelity wireframes, cool. Yeah, okay. Nice to see the before and after. God, that was really bad. The before, it definitely needed a redesign. Whoo! Yeah, that's pretty rough. So it looks nice on the new. The new one looks pretty good. Oh, here, let me try open a new tab. Yeah, I mean, the overall design's okay. That's a lot of text to be centered. I would say that module could have been changed a bit. Yeah, the menu looks a lot better, so that's cool. Yeah, conclusion, what I learned, some things I want to improve on. That's nice. I mean, I think overall, this is a pretty good case study. You know, I think that the design system attribution threw me off a lot. You know, at the end of the day, you made a website, right? That website is a 5-page website, not like a 50-page website with like, you know, dynamic content and stuff like that. That's where you need, you know, design systems. And so because that, it feel like that fell a bit flat for me. Some of that user research threw me off too. So I'll say overall, in Aman's case study, it's a solid 6.7. It's a solid 6.7. I think update some of these, like the visualizations on these look a little wonky. You know, some of the like Sujal like probably should be removed from this list. And yeah, and then why the design system? Give me a reason, right? And then how did you like actively launch that design system as a system? You know what I mean? So there you go. That's a 6.7 on that case study. Yeah, pretty good. I would say, yeah, pretty like very close. Very close. Okay, let me catch up on some chat. I've been vibing on chat or dodging chat a lot. Sorry, YouTube. Hey, a lot of people chatting over there. Hey, YouTube. Hey, Nolan, do you just review UI UX portfolios, or are you into graphic design stuff too? I can definitely give you some graphic design reviews. I used to do a lot more graphic design. However, I will say I haven't hired for graphic designers before. So, you know, it would be kind of out of context kind of suggestion. So if you want me to review that, sure, I'll do it. I might just be bloviating even more than I do often or already. I personally feel like it's okay to redesign and improve existing designs, but it's also interesting to have more UX centered projects. Yeah. If you have graphic design experience and you're applying to UI UX roles, I'd say put that in a about me section. Put that in a art kind of section. Like, you know what I mean? Like don't have graphic design on your homepage if you are applying for product design jobs, because those kinds of stuff just throw it off, just throw the vibes off. Always do UX research, but at my level, website like Amazon, who's got billions of users, it's kind of difficult to make a realistic UX without real dates. But yeah. It's funny. Every time I see a redesign of like a site like Amazon, it's kind of like, or even Google, anything, even Spotify kind of stuff. It sort of is like, who are you? Who are you to say that with all of their backing, all of their processes and everything like that, that you can do better of a design than what Google and Amazon and all of them do, right? They run so many fucking tests, spend so much money, and have so much data that like I've never touched any of those sites because of that, because it's just like you can yeah, you can make it look pretty, but why? You know what I mean? All right. Redesigning mediocre websites helps you a lot with design decision making by addressing pain points. Yeah. Now that's true, Rick Van Dam, for sure. But yeah, like you said, Amazon isn't the best use case for that. How much research showcase is enough for a case study? You know what? What I'll do is I'm gonna bring up the top portfolio right now, and I'm gonna show you top ranked portfolio. I'm starting a ranking system, and I think that this is one of the better ones that I've seen. So here we go. Minimal. All right. So this was Vanch's portfolio, and this was the case study. Right, has a nice intro. And at the end of the day, this is a fucking sign up form, right? So, or like not a sign up form, but like a form to manage some stuff inside of the app. So it's not that sexy of a feature, but still managed to make it look really cool through some animation. Gave some good context on what this is, and then even better, this was where the real juice started happening. Was did some market research around they came up with a thesis, right, of like, or like a hypothesis, right, is, hey, we think that making the process for to create podcasts easier will mean that our users will make more podcasts, right, and therefore more podcasts will give us more monthly recurring revenue. So that's a great intro of a thesis, hypothesis, business goal, all that in mind. Like, hell yeah, that's amazing. Then it got into, defining the problems that make the, how can we say that the process isn't already easy, right? What can we make what changes can we make to make it even easier? And so they did some research. Always like have some good visualizations like this, helps a lot. This one was just kind of like a little slam dunk to be like, this was real, and then have a visualization of the insights that you came to from this kind of research. Just quick little, I think summarizations like this is good. They needed help in the process. They didn't know what to expect when they were going to go create it, like all that stuff. And then having some data to back that up is always really good too. And I think honestly, that's as much as you need, really. Give me context to the problem. Give me the steps that you took to define the problem even more clearly, and then show me the process that you took to take that and turn it into strategy, right? Which they did here. We did some brainstorming meetings and all that. I mean, maybe could have gone another section beneath this to go even more in depth on that. But I mean, honestly, I think that it's not even needed here. And then they just got into the end results, right? And again, it's always going back to the initial strategy, initial problems, initial definitions that we got. It's going back to those. That's always really important too. So, and then ultimately you need to show the end results as much as you can. So, So I think that's probably one of the better ways or amount of information to show. TikTok, sorry for missing some chats over there. Jenna, hope you're still here. Is there a word that you feel would be a better descriptor of the work they did in terms of updating their branding? But instead of a design system, I think that maybe it's just like more like systematic, even right. It just feels like design system was like a little buzzword that they wanted to share. But building a design system is a completely different aspect to building a very nice template that can be reused in different ways, right? Like, and ultimately, what they showed on their portfolio was nice buttons, input fields, and that was about it. That was about all they had for their design system. And so I think that's where I felt it from the beginning that, hey, I don't know if this is actually a design system, and then it really wasn't, you know. And so because that what you should say is we made a systematic brand vibe that can be reused and scales for the future, right? I think that wording would have been great, and I would have bought it, right? So yeah. Is dark mode a must these days? For web design, I don't think it's needed. I don't think you need a dark mode versus light mode. I think for mobile apps or probably mobile apps, you definitely need dark mode. But I think also too, like admin panel, like SaaS tool dashboards on a website, you probably don't need dark mode there either. So I do like dark mode, but it's in my opinion, I don't think it's like a thing that, oh, this app isn't done until you have dark mode, Do you have pointers on how to use a design system across files but change the colors per project? Yeah. Let's, if you're going to change the colors on it, like if you have a system, you need to switch the semantic tokens. So if you're trying to make a design system that has colors set one way and then another product uses the same layouts and all that but has different colors, then yeah, you would probably set that as a unique. You would set on like the big level, the global level of the design system. You would set all of the colors for every product that system will be using, and then from each product, each design on like the different product lines or whatever, those would have semantic tokens that pull in the proper ones. So like everything would be the same ultimately, where you have like primary, right, and then on product A it would be button color, which is associated to the primary, but then there's also like product 2 primary, and then over on the other one you would, like on product 2, you would associate to that one in the semantic button color token. You would associate to that. You wouldn't associate to the original one. So that's probably how you would do it. But yeah. Hey Emmy, how you doing? Do I have a Discord? I do, but I'm not in there too much. I want to be in there more. I just don't have the time. I love Discord. I love hanging out with the community and chatting. It just I'm just so doing too many things is the thing. Val, could you explain the main differences between a UX UI designer and a product designer? Probably if you're seeing UI UX designer, then it's probably the same as product designer. But there are UI UX designers who specialize in web, right? And those would be called UI UX designers. But then a product designer is somebody who works in a product team and does UI UX. Yeah, that's it. TikTok, you're so fucking annoying. Said that there was inactivity. What would you say are the most important qualities, skills you look at when hiring a product designer? Ooh, that's such a good question, Beth. Such a good question. I think the most important skill that I see that has led me to have an interview and then ultimately had me select the people who I hire is they have a process for taking UX and turning it into UI. Now, the truth is, as a junior designer, junior product designer, you are probably not going to have too much of an effect on the UX strategy, right? And that's because there's people more senior than you who have done this longer than you, who have more war stories than you, and more battle scars, and understanding to pull from, and that leads to them being able to be more effective. Now, what does that mean? That means that everything that we do is going to be questioned, right? Everything that we do by the stakeholders, right? And stakeholders are right to do so, right? And every stakeholder is also right, even if they disagree with you. And so the reality is how can you still work in those constraints? That's where it's difficult as a junior designer to be effective in that world. And so because of that, I think that definitely try to build those skills. But I think that where you can stand out is when you have when you have the side of UI skills, is that you can take whatever strategy somebody else came up with and make it like have an effective outcome where it addresses the business goals, it addresses the user experience goals, and all of that. And so because of that, having a UI strategy, the ability to have good information architecture tactics, and then understanding how to turn UX strategy into UI, all of that is really what I look for in a junior product designer, is that. And even then, I sometimes I'm like, let me try to find somebody who's really good at UX, and everybody falls flat because they just don't have the amount of work that you need to have said, like, look, I launched this product and it got this much percentage increase or whatever. Like that's one thing you can stand on, but junior designers just don't have that yet. It takes a while to get there. So, yo, Cash, how you doing? Yeah, I made your profile pic. Oh, that's cool. I made your profile pic. What are the thoughts on building MVPs with no-code software like Bubble? Do it. Yeah, I think it's definitely the world is ready for that sort of stuff, and you can definitely get by. I launched a product MVP using Airtable as a backend, and then built my own front end because I'm a developer. But we were able to launch it to over 5,000 users. So and it worked. So I mean, you can get by with no-code solutions for sure. Hey, Samiha, thanks so much for sharing the live. Appreciate you. All right. Instagram, been looking for some UX jobs, but most of them ask for 2 to 3 years of experience. What will be an optimal way to enter the industry with zero experience? Yeah, Harry, the truth is all that stuff that I was just talking about around UI, and being able to have a strategy around taking UX tactics or UX strategy and turning it into UI. All of that is accomplished. All of that can be accomplished with 0 years of experience. Like, you can put that work that you practice, in your UI skills and learning information architecture and working with clients on that side. You can put all of that stuff in as experience, So that's ultimately what you need to do, is just do more UI, and understand UX, but just do more projects from start to finish, even if they're fake projects. So, all right, we'll leave it there. Now we've got one last portfolio review today. Let's get into it. We are going to be doing Mathis. Their portfolio is coming right up. So let's do it. Pulling this up. Mathis. I'm gonna put 15 minutes on the clock. Let's go. So, oh, cool. Looks like is in French, but okay, cool. I was able to translate, so that's great. I like this. It looks pretty nice. WordPress developer, graphic designer, digital project manager, motion designer. Okay, UX UI designer. Interesting. Matisse. I'll just call him Matisse. We're just gonna go with that. I'm a graphic designer who enjoys taking on creative challenges. I design original and effective graphic solutions for various projects ranging from print to web, including motion design and WordPress development. Do not hesitate to contact me. This feels a little long. Honestly, the words are pretty good. It doesn't feel too like buzzwordy, but I think that you could find a way to trim this down a bit, especially when you've got these moving down here. Looks pretty good. You got also projects peeking through the bottom. So, I mean, according to my rubric, you crushed it, Matisse. You crushed it. Looks visually nice. You got motion. You got who you are, what you do, and why, and who you do it for. WordPress development, even, like, all that's great. So I would say for this hero, we're looking at an 8.2. We're looking at an 8.2. Would be nice if this project was more. I see that's like a logo, but how can you do that in like a real life mock-up kind of setting? Would have been nice to see iSafe's logo like peeking through. It would feel more real. You know what I mean? It would feel more real to me. Team management, UI design, Aceta Fitness. Okay, nice. I love to see the little tags on like what these things are, like, and what work you did. So that's really great. Seeing those without having to hover as well is really nice. So all that's really great. I think this section's a winner as well. You show some of the designs. I can't really tell. Like, is iSafe was a UI project, not a branding project. Okay. Would be nice then to see some UI in this shot. Like mock-ups. I would love to see some mock-ups right here. Yeah. Yeah, I am viewing it in an unconventional viewport. That's true. Yeah. But okay, I would say that this section is another, so I said, what was it, 8.1 up here? I think it's another 8.3 for this, because like these details are great. I think it would have been better if I could see some more real, like end result mock-ups would be really nice to see here. I think that's what's missing here. Otherwise, really great. Good context, entices me to jump into it. So I'm just going to jump into it. iSafe. We got 12 minutes. Man, I'm getting really good at these. It's an interesting layout. I'm not sure I like this layout though. This feels like it kind of should be on like Behance or something, right? Which, nice that it's not on Behance, but yeah, I don't know. Let me think on it. Let me sit with it. What do you guys think? Do you like this? Do you like this layout that it kind of like scrolls with you? I don't know. Yeah, I'm also viewing it from an unconventional viewport, so let me see if that's the case. No, okay. It's still kind of weird all around. On mobile, it goes like that at least. I mean, like this even is just like, that's even better. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's kind of throwing me off. Like, I don't know, but I like that these are still accessible, being able to see like the video, the filter, the links to the prototype. Like that's pretty cool to see that stuff. Interesting. Okay, so this is like, that's pretty dope that you got this in there. Yeah, how can you show this without me clicking over to it though? You know what I mean? Like, I think throw that up top, right? I think that I was saying like, oh, it's kind of nice to have them accessible. Well, make them here then, right? If you've got them, like have just like an iframe of the YouTube video there. Instagram filter. I don't really know what to do with this. I'd say cut that link, right? The prototype though, that's cool. Let's see the prototype. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I like that it's clickable. I mean, like, good. It's a good prototype. Got some opinions on the designs, but I'll get back to that in a second. Let's get back to this case study. Hey, Adrian, I can definitely get you a portfolio review. Head to my bio link, and in there's a button to join the queue. Yeah, currently we're booked out for a little bit, but I'll be definitely getting to it soon if you go do that. Okay. Yeah, so the other trouble too is since this is in images, Google couldn't translate it for me, so I can't really review the strategy. It does look like you have strategy. It looks like you did some research, so that's cool. Colors are there. Yeah, I see. Okay, mock-ups are nice. Yeah, I mean, like overall, it looks pretty good of a case study. It looks like it's got the details. Oh, that's cool. That must be the Instagram filter. So that's pretty cool to see. Yeah, it feels like a complete project, which is nice. Now let's get into sorry. So what I'll say is the ranking for this portfolio review, for this case study. I would say like this part is good. The layout is weird. The fact that it's images is a negative. So I'll put this at a 6.2. It's a 6.2. It's good. It seems like it's got strategy. It gives me the end results, which is great. Yeah, let's go 6.5. Let's go 6.5 on this. Yeah. Now let's get to the actual design. So, and this is part of why it's a 6.5 is just the design is like, it feels like you didn't do any mood boarding on this, right? It's like, is this the best way to present the glasses, where it's white glass on top of white image or white background? I don't know. Like could we get a 3D view of it? Maybe if these are like, yeah, okay, it looks like when you hover, there's a 3D view. Can you make that the default one? It's just little stuff like that. Also too, like there doesn't seem to be any pricing information on each of these pairs. So like the content is a little off on that too. I don't know, like I'm trying to think about like what I don't like about it. It's like it's overall the designs are okay. It's like it's just like it feels like you didn't have inspiration to pull from when you were designing this. It feels kind of like you just like jumped into design, and because of that, I'm like some of these bars are just kind of like thrown on. Where like, do you really need this bar around it? I feel like it doesn't affect the spacing. It only makes the spacing feel more crammed because of that. And so I think the actual design, and look, did you see that little animation right here? That was cool. Can you just loop that video then over and over or something like that? I like that the video's here too. But is this an app? I don't know. I don't know if this is an app. If it is an app, it kind of feels like a... Okay, no. It's a website. This is a website, right? Get it and download it. I don't know. I can't tell. I would say the design is okay. It doesn't feel like other e-commerce apps. It feels kind of like a little ham-fisted together. So I think because of that, we've got to rank it at like a 6, at a solid 6. It's a solid 6 on the actual design itself. I just realized I didn't go back and review the. Let me go rank these designs of the other ones as well. I'd say that the rating on this design from Aman's is probably like it's probably like a 6.4. Like it feels like this needs to be tighter. This is really wide for Cinder text, and also too much text for Cinder text as well. This is a good module though, and also too, it's not really a design system. So the fact that it was called a design system it affects it a little bit. I'd say that this, it's a solid 6.2. Ben's not getting reviewed today. Elixium. Oh yeah, going back to Sam's. Now Sam's design is great. I think that in result designs of these, like more graphic branding kind of side, I'd say that these are at least a 7.5 on the designs, on the actual final design. So just want to kind of give a ranking as well to be able to like pull back and say, hey, what are the actual, like the work itself, right? You can I could talk all day about like the strategy behind how you're showing this work, but is the work itself good? I definitely want to always be bringing that up too. So, all right, we came in on under 10 minutes on that one. Yo, guys, I might be able to start doing more of these live, more case study reviews, portfolio reviews, because we're getting through a lot of these, so that's great. Seems like I missed a wireframe step validating. Yeah, I think that was it, Rick Van Dam on YouTube. It just kind of seemed like right from the strategy to just like the first design was that do you recommend finding internship jobs as someone just starting a junior role? Yeah, if you can't find a job, I think the best way to find a job is find an internship. And also to the other side, don't find one that's listed, right? Find a local agency or a small startup in your local area, and offer them an internship role, and that'll get you real world experience. That will also, if you can manage it, you'll become a actual part of their team for the few months that you're there. And by the end, they're going to be like, well, shit, we can't leave them. They've been helping us so much. And so that's how I got my first job, actually. So definitely go for internships. Just want to thank you all for your work you've done here. Love your account. Thanks so much, Asins, or 077ins. Appreciate you for appreciating me. Hey, it's Friday. Let's all just clap for ourselves. Give ourselves a pat on the back for making it through another week of fun. You know what I mean? It's been a lot of a busy week for me. Probably a busy week for you all too. So great I'm just happy that I was able to do this week, and yeah. So my new plan. So originally I was going to be doing these lives every day of the week, every weekday. But I'm actually going to start doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday portfolio reviews, and then Tuesdays and Thursdays are going to be different. Sometimes I might just like have to work and catch up on some work, so I might not do a live on Tuesday or Thursday for now. But I am going to be making some new shows, and so I'm kind of zooming this one into the show of portfolio review show, and then I'm going to do some more. I'm going to intro some new shows soon. We're going to be talking about just a lot, just different stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for that. I also want to get into like co-hosts and stuff like that. So yeah, soon it won't just be me only talking here. So that'll be nice when you don't have to listen to me so much. But Akash, hey, glad you loved it today. Glad you loved the session. Hope you all have an awesome weekend. Yeah, that's it for me. Appreciate you.